There are so many activities all of us tend to be involved in. Here at Deep Knowledge Group, we are passionate about your ways of thinking and do our best to help you bring us closer to the fifth industrial revolution. We are building a financial ecosystem for deep tech and longevity industries, helping startups and investors find each other in the most effective way. Big data analytics system, or the so-called dashboards, is one of the parts of our ecosystem. On our promo website, deepinnovation.tech, you can find additional case studies describing the value proposition of our solutions. We divide our analytics system into two classes, deep tech and longevity. Every part has its own subpage where you can learn more about the dashboards that are attributed to this area and their case studies. At the same time, on the homepage, there is plenty of information on the other topics you might be interested in, like our banking solution called Longevity Card, that helps us to build banking solutions for B2B and B2C longevity industry participants. Dashboards is only one of the solutions we are working on. If you're interested in learning more about the longevity industry in general, you can visit our website called longevity.global, where we have gathered main information about companies and investors that participate in the longevity industry, covering more than 60,000 of different types of entities and people. In addition, one of the parts of the longevity financial ecosystem we are building is a SPV and legal tech platform. You can visit our website, investsolutions.tech, to learn more about this topic. Now, let's get back to the dashboards. As I mentioned before, there are two types of dashboards, namely longevity dashboards and deep tech dashboards. We will cover both of them really quickly in this video. So let's begin with the longevity investment big data analytics system. As you can see, there are four types of dashboard presented here: longevity investment, public longevity companies, longevity finance, and longevity governance. Let's begin with the first one. After logging into the dashboard, you will see the main page of the dashboard, where you can find brief information on how many companies, entities, data points, sectors, and subsectors a given dashboard covers. Every dashboard is a niche solution that covers specific submarket or market of the given industry. At the same time, you can find main information about the industry itself. For example, the amount of investments, the world economy size, longevity companies, distribution by countries, and so on and so forth. On the left-hand side, you can see three main areas, namely reports, data, and tools. Let's begin with the reports. If you click on downloadable, you will find our open access analytics. You can download just by clicking on the given name. You can download it in a PDF version for your convenience. You can use this information in order to learn more about the longevity industry, its subsectors, key market players, and other entities involved in the longevity industry. We also provide on-demand analytics, so if you're interested, you can just drop a note to us and let us know what you're interested about, your companies, your aspirations in the market, and we'll be happy to provide you with the most interesting and fruitful market intelligence. As for the data, we have different types of information here, namely companies, investors, limited partners, clinical trials, and funding rounds. Let's begin with the companies. In order to navigate yourself across this particular page, you can use geo-like button in order to apply different types of filters, or just type the name of the company here. If you click on the details of every company, you'll find additional information about the company as shown here. Also, we have the same information for investors, limited partners. As for the clinical trials, as you probably know, pharmaceutical and longevity industries are deeply dependent on the current scientific advances in these areas. So in order to understand what are the market dynamics across different longevity markets, you need to understand what are the clinical trials that are currently on the market, what the conditions they try to cover, and so on and so forth. As an analyst or as an investor, you can basically use this particular tool in order to understand better what your investment target is doing and whether this is applicable and whether this is relevant to the market. Also, you can click on the geo-like button or tap the search bar at the name of the condition or the name of the sponsor you're interested in. As for the tools, we have plenty of them, as you can see. Let's begin with the most easiest one, the portfolio constructor. So this particular tool is basically created for a backtesting. As I've mentioned before, we have almost 70K of longevity companies presented to the dashboard. Around 4K of those companies are publicly traded companies, meaning you can backtest their performance when creating your investment portfolio. In order to select certain company, you just type the name of the company here. Let's choose a couple of them. After you choose certain companies, you need to select the purchase date, the sell date, the amount. You can also add risk value and profit value if you have certain values in mind. Also, you need to choose the portfolio type, for example, equally weighted, minimum variance, Sharpe ratio, and so on. If you have a proprietary approach in investments, you can just click custom and type the exact amount for weights, or just drag in order to change the weights here. Here you can see the portfolio weights distribution as well, the net income of the portfolio. On the bottom, you can see the graph. It's basically the performance of the portfolio, as well as the portfolio summary. Here we have like around 20 different parameters covering different aspects of the portfolio performance, starting from something basic like skewness, kurtosis, and performance, up to certain interesting measures like Sterling ratio or Steiny ratio, also performance index, and so on and so forth. Certainly, we have a daily income percentage chart, which basically shows you the daily income distribution of your backtested portfolio. But this is for the historical performance. If you're interested in the prediction of the company's performance, you can click on the predictions on the left-hand side and click on the company's names. You can type their ticker or name, or just select from the list as I did. After that, you need to select the prediction end date, because the starting date is always the date you are using this tool. After that, you just need to select the prediction type. As for now, we have 4 types. VINA, adjusted geometric Brownian motion, is basically more about the mathematical way of prediction the stock performance, while we also have some of the machine learning based approaches here, namely the profit model and the LSTM prediction model. After you've chosen the prediction, you can see the simulated path of the performance for every stock. Right now, we're simulating around 1,000 paths for every company. We can basically expand this almost unlimited if you want, and create certain proprietary analytics for you. At the bottom, you can see the performance of the companies. As you can see, certain companies are said to be having a negative performance, while other might have a positive performance, which can basically help you to understand the future performance of your portfolio and probably add certain companies or discard certain companies from the portfolio constructor. On the Comparative tab, you can look at the Swot analysis and compare them for every company. Let me show you. Let's choose some well-known company and add other companies in addition. Let's add all of them. After you added all of the companies you wanted to compare, basically you can add unlimited number of companies. You just need to click compare here in order to see the SWOT analytics of those companies. What is the SWOT analysis? In SWOT analysis, we try to understand the performance of the company based on different types of parameters. We analyze around 170 parameters based on our proprietary natural language processing algorithms that allows you to understand the current development level of the company, not only based on the financial metrics, but also based on the so-called alternative data, measuring the level of business performance of the company, measuring level of its media presence, measuring level of scientific advances, analyzing the patterns, and so on and so forth. You can also click on the View All button here in order to see every SWOT being analyzed one by one. If you're interested in a certain company, now let's say this one, you can click on Request Analytics Report, and after that you'll be redirected to the Contact Us form, where you can drop us a note and say what is the company you are interested in, and require additional information, and we'll be happy to provide it. We also have different types of mind maps. rankings and statistics. More on the mind maps you can learn on the website longevity.global, so I won't stop much on this topic. Let me show you the rankings tool instead. So here you can basically measure and understand the performance of the companies. Let's choose some company from the list. Let's say this one. After that, you need to select the parameter you want to compare it based on. Let's say it will be kurtosis, let's say Sterling ratio, and I don't know, expected shortfall. So as you can see, the overall ranking place of this company is 710. What we do here and how we calculate this rating in particular. So in order to calculate this rating, we basically analyze different companies at different points of time. We compare them at every point and then decide on their rankings. You can choose any company being analyzed in this regard. You can also choose all of the parameters at once or only one parameter. This is absolutely at your discretion. So after we analyze the performance of the company at a given date, we create two different classes. The first one is the top in the class part, where you can basically see the top companies based on the kurtosis and Sterling ratio in our case, or you can see the overall ranking. It's basically top companies across all the parameters available right now. You can also see the ranking of the company. So this is the overall ranking, right? And this is the ranking based on these two parameters here. And basically the value of the parameters. As for the statistics is a pretty cool tool where you can basically visualize the data you tend to work with in Excel, but in much more efficient and interesting way than you do on average. So first you need to select main category, secondary category, and type of value. Let's choose longevity subsector as a main category. Then let's choose the funding distribution, and let's analyze it based on the number of companies and build the chart. So this is basically how it works. As you can see, the number of companies is the y-axis. The x-axis is main category, and secondary category is the coloring we have here. We can also type a custom query, for example, AI, and build the chart once again. So these are the companies that are one way or another are related to the AI, meaning they implement AI, let's say in fitness or in mobile health or in other areas. What is the cool about this too, that basically you can not only see the exact number of companies by dragging your mouse on a given bar, but also you can click on this bar and see the exact list of the companies. And if you click on a given company, you can basically see its SWOT analysis and the basic information about this company and understand your statistics better. Now let's move on to the deep tech dashboards. We have a number of them. I think we should begin with the digital UK ecosystem. As you can see, deep tech dashboards are mainly focused on different types of companies that are one way or another related to the technological advancements. So if you click here, you can basically see once again the general information about the dashboard, the same one as on the longevity dashboard. Some information about the industry itself. The tools and the data parts here are mostly the same with the longevity dashboard. One cool thing that we have here is if you click on the companies once again and select any company, let's say this one, except for the SWOT analysis, you can click on the matching tool and see the matching tool working based on the machine learning. What is the matching tool and how it works? So we decide for every company 5 different areas, namely the marketing, legal, financial services, software, and hardware. And based on the parameters of this company, how good it is developed and in which way it is developed, according to all of these 5 areas, we suggest the best collaborators, which can basically be used by business developers, by VC funds, and other analysts in order to understand the market better, first and foremost, but also in order to create fruitful collaborations and cooperations across the market. In addition, we also have the so-called governance dashboards. Let me draw you an example by using the longevity governance big data analytical dashboards. So if I click here, we can see the dashboard itself. As you can see, it differs a lot from the previous dashboards, because the idea of this dashboard is not to cover certain entities, but to cover certain countries or regions. Here we have 50 regions being analyzed based on their longevity progressiveness ranking. You can choose certain companies here. For example, we're interested in, let's say, Chile. You can see this pie chart. It basically tells you how good a given country is developed based on the different types of parameters. And we also use a machine learning in order to create recommendations for every company based on 240 parameters. So, for example, if you are interested in the question how a given country might develop itself better according to demography, you just can click here and receive the recommendations on different aspects. For example, how it should develop sustainability measure, or how it should develop the social inclusion, or how it should improve local living conditions, and so on and so forth. And definitely we have this for ecology, economy, society, government policy, health status, and government care. So this is for the dashboards. But the cool thing about the dashboards is you can basically build them in a way you want to see them, meaning that we have created a so-called solution dashboards 2.0. Except for different front end, the cool thing about this is that all of these solutions, as I showed you before, tools, the databases, all of the things can be used by analysts, by VC funds, by startups in order to build pitch decks for anyone without any prior knowledge of coding. So you basically can construct them without writing a single line of the code. You just need to decide what type of information do you want to see, meaning what type of database you want to use. And in addition, you need to decide what type, how exactly you want to present your information. So basically use the type of graphs you want to see. And this constructor works in a way that you can even upload images, you can embed any type of information, you can add textual information to the dashboard, basically anything you want, and at the same time use all of the available tools at your discretion. So you basically can build another longevity investment dashboard with the same database, just creating another focus, another point of view on the industry. Or you can upload your own database via the API and use it in order to create an analog to the previously showed dashboards. This particular feature can allow you to save your time, save your money if you are a investment fund manager, because most of the time it takes a lot of time for analysts to learn new tricks, learn new languages, query databases. All of this takes time, and this particular feature can make your market intelligence much easier and save certain costs. So this is the solution we provide for everyone. And if you have any questions, once again, you can go to our website called InvestTech, so investsolutions.tech. If you're interested in certain proprietary analytics or financial solutions, if you're interested in the dashboard themselves or in other things we want to provide you as IT solutions, you can visit deepinnovation.tech and contact us there, book a free trial, book a demo, and ask your questions.